Good evening, everyone. This is Spinistry TV live from Luling, Texas, the La Quinta. Busy day of scouting today, getting ready for the Lockhart Breaker and the Ranchero 100 both. Long day, good day, mostly. Have some great news. Have some not so great news, but we'll get on the computer and play with some stuff tonight for maps, and looks like we might have to potentially redo some stuff for the Lockhart Breaker. I'll find out for sure tomorrow. Give you a quick rundown on the really good news. The Ranchero 100 route is really good. I'm excited about this one. It's a really pretty route. It's not. It's hard to explain. It's gonna be an excellent bike ride. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's really pretty, mostly dirt, really cool dirt roads, long dirt roads. I think there's one that's 15 miles, one that's 10 miles, and maybe another that's 12 with no turns in them. But it's okay. I mean, they got plenty of curves and up and down to them. It's going to be a fast course. It's going to be really fast. It holds. It does great in the wet. It was pouring rain on me all day today, and the Ranchero 100 route it drained beautifully. You couldn't even tell it was, even though it was pouring rain on me. You couldn't even tell. It's going to be it's going to be a fast course. It's deceptively easy. It's going to seem like an easy course, but it's not. It's not, and it doesn't have any huge climbs to it. But it's never flat. It's always kind of rolling up and down, and a couple of good sustained, not steep, but nice sustained climbs that go on for a couple miles, and then you have a nice downhill payoff afterwards. So the Ranchero 100 is going to be a great route. That's September 29th. It's free for Team Spinistry members, and also it will be free for one guest per Team Spinistry member. We'll get the registration opened up on that this week, and hopefully anybody that's on the fence about getting a Team Spinistry membership, hopefully this gets you kind of over to that other side. There's a lot of benefits to the membership. $75 for 12 months. 12 months from whenever you sign up. It's not start of a certain point of year, so it's not, you get your 12 months whenever you sign up, and you get discounts to all the Spinistry events. You get free Team Spinistry rides like this one, other free Team Spinistry events. It's going to really pay off if you want to go on that Colorado trip with us next year. But we'll touch base on that later. But also you get great discounts from our partners. Panaracer tires, Cantu cycling wheels, Quero gloves, Chumba cycles, Wanderlust gear. There's Redshift Sports on the shock stop stem, and then there's probably some other stuff out there. And this isn't a sales pitch. I know some people aren't up to speed on, well, why should I spend $75 for a Team Spinistry membership? You're going to get your money's worth out of it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That said, we understand timing's everything. Budgets are budgets, and so forth and so on. So, again, if you're not able to swing the $75 in time for the Ranchero 100, we'll find a Team Spinistry member that's going and be their guest. We're going to try to find some other ways, maybe a one-day membership of some sort. I'm not sure. The way it works is Team Spinistry members on the Team Spinistry rides, the membership buys them insurance for all of our team events throughout the year. So that's why it's free for Team Spinistry members. The the insurance allows us to tag along guests from time to time. It's something we can't do all the time, but kind of it's kind of meant as introduction to the club type thing, introduction to the team. So we do get a little bit of flexibility on guests per member sort of thing. Going to see if there's a way to swing a 1-day membership of some sort. But anyway, we'll get that nailed down. If you're interested in doing the Ranchero on September 29th, but you're not able to do the Teams Ministry membership, send me a message on Facebook or spinistry@gmail.com, and we'll figure out something. We might have other ways to make it happen. If you've done other events with this this year or something like that, maybe we can swing something that way. What we're still not sure of on the Ranchero, though, and hopefully I'll look at the maps again tonight and play with the different routes and so forth. We were going to go with just a 100-mile route, but I know some folks were wanting different distances. So that comes into play with where we stage from to make that happen. We kind of have on that Ranchero route, there's a big hole in the middle that you can't get across, is what it boils down to. Lots of oil fields, oil pumping going on out there. So there's just this big corridor that there's no way to get across. So for us to do shorter routes, we may have to start from a different spot than I was originally thinking of, so we don't get caught with that nowhere land thing in the middle. What we're looking at, I was actually looking at doing Lake Bryan as potentially the staging area, because there is camping there and some other stuff, but basically I'm not comfortable with how to get from Lake Bryan to the route. I mean, it's not crazy unsafe, but it's not within what I'm comfortable with. So we're probably looking at Hearn or possibly Franklin. We just got to figure out how to do that. I'm going to look at the maps tonight and see if there's some other options. There is, I believe, there's enough resupply there. This is a completely self-navigated, self-supported route. We're not going to have aid stations or anything like that. But it's a really neat route. So we hope a group of people get together and have a good day on the bikes. There's resupply points close enough together to make it viable. Again, depending on where we originally start from. We may just start from literally the middle of nowhere, so that the towns that are along the way we can use those for resupply. So anyway, that's the Ranchero 100. Fantastic route. If you're thinking about coming and joining us that day, I can assure you that you're going to enjoy the ride. This is actually, I was really excited while I was scouting that one. It's one of those that looked at it on the maps and was really going into it cold, not sure what we were going to be getting, and it worked out so much better than I was hoping. It's a really neat route. Potentially, if we start from Franklin and we're able to put together a 50K short route, I may even try to see if I can get back on the bike for this one. So Ranchero 100, that's the debrief on that one real quick. Lockhart Breaker. I literally rolled into Lockhart and the skies were just raining like hell when I got into Lockhart. Lockhart was a foot underwater as I rolled into town. I tried to haul ass south ahead of the storm, and the idea was tonight to try to scout the 200K where it splits off from everything else. And I got started on a section of that, and no mud. The roads are literally rock solid, but they were getting about 6 inches deep in water, running across the road, and I didn't want to take a chance of getting caught in between two low spots, so bailed on a good part of the 200K scouting for tonight. But then I booked on south as fast as I could, staying ahead of the storm, and I got the most southern part scoped out. And here, so the Ranchero 100 was great news, awesome. The Lockhart Breaker 200K so far, and I'll check the rest of the route tomorrow. I'm kind of disappointed. A good bit was paved and tarred from last year, and I think this is only going to be on the 200K. So I'm going to really look closely at the maps tonight. This may be a blessing in disguise, though, because I found some other roads last year around Luling that I really wanted to figure out a way to get them in. They're very, very cool roads, but we weren't able to squeeze them in last year. It just took the mileage too far. So we may be ditching what was the east end of the 200K route. I don't expect the 100K route to have these issues, but we won't find out for sure until tomorrow. But I'll be getting up at the crack of dawn to check on the 100K and 50K routes, and I'll stay up late tonight and work on some alternatives for the 200K. If you're thinking about doing the Lockhart Breaker, don't hesitate to register. We're already at 150 registrations. We're capped at 200. We only had 120 last year total. So we're kicking ass on registrations on the Lockhart Breaker. Usually most of our registrations come in that final week. I can't say for sure we're going to sell out, but we only have 50 left, and we're not bumping it up. We're capped at 200. We're kind of restricted on our event space and parking and restrooms and stuff like that. So we are capped at 200. I think there's a really good chance we'll probably sell out by this weekend, but who knows for certain. So it's just a fair warning, if you're planning to do the Lockhart Breaker and just haven't gotten around to registering yet, please go ahead and register, and in case it does sell out. I'm not going to be in a position next week to scramble and squeeze people in and things like that, because when we have events this far away from home, it's hard to stay on top of the emails and stuff like that. That said, whatever reason, it always happens. I'm out and about, scouting, doing stuff away from my email, away from the computer, and like all of my messages just absolutely blew up today. Everything that was going on anywhere, all of my partners and contacts, and everybody that had something that was out there hanging with Spinistry business emailed or PM today. So if I haven't gotten back to you yet, don't worry, I'll get to it. I'm going to get off this Facebook Live and actually run over to Buc-ee's, I guess, and find something to eat. I'm at the La Quinta in Luling. Let me show you the room. This is actually, I shouldn't show you this because I haven't booked where I'm staying. But I think they call it a King Executive Suite. Is this a fold out here? Yep, that's a sleeper sofa there, desk, one TV, king bed, another TV, kitchenette, microwave, coffee maker. $63. $63. Not every night, but like there's only 2 cars in the parking lot. So it was like $70, and then with my insurance company, they'll ask you what your insurance company is when you're, and if you have the right insurance company, you get another 10% discount. So that's the La Quinta in Luling. It's right on I-10, right across from the Buc-ee's. It's not in Luling proper. I wanted to guess this is 20 minutes or so away from Lockhart. It is to the south. We stayed here last year. This works out good for us because it's right near that little town where we did the water table with the antique store and things like that. That's like 2 miles from here. So that to be able to get that water table out first thing in the morning. So been rambling here. I haven't had a thing to eat all day today, so I'm gonna run over to Buc-ee's and get me a Southwest chicken wrap. Then I'll come back, look at all the maps, try to figure out a 200K alternate for the Lockhart Breaker, see if we can figure out a decent staging area for the Ranchero 100. Those of you that are interested in doing the Ranchero, do me a favor, go to the event page and chime in. If there's a certain town, Bryan, Hearn, Franklin, that kind of triangle there, if y'all look at the maps, if there's a certain town that's convenient for everyone and y'all want to chime in as to what might work, or if there's something that, you know, if like I said, I'm kind of leaning towards Franklin now, but it is kind of itself in the middle of nowhere. And I'm not sure if there's anywhere to actually stage park that might have restrooms or anything like that. Hearn had what looked like a pretty decent city park. Mumford actually had a big softball, baseball, tennis complex there. If anyone knows Mumford or a contact there, leave me some contact information for that. That might actually kind of work as our middle of nowhere place to start from and park, and then we'll be able to use Hearn, Franklin, and there was one other, I can't remember what it wasn't really a town, it was like a crossroads, but they had a nice convenience store there. So that would probably give us enough resupply points there. The only problem with starting in Mumford, potentially not as flexible for total number of routes as far as mileage goes, but we could still probably make it work. Anyway, I've been rambling. Just wanted to bring you all up to speed. Ranchero 100 looks awesome. Lockhart Breaker, the 100K, 50K, Lockhart itself, they all look great. If you're a 200K rider, hold on. We're probably going to have to redo the route for the 200K, but I think I can probably sort it out tonight on the maps and verify it while I'm running around tomorrow. All right, so I'm going to check out, go to Buc-ee's, fill up with gas, fill up my belly, and play with maps, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. Good night.